Yeah, welcome to the rough and tumble mean streets of Philadelphia and the Weege Show, brought to you by Honda and the CRF 450R and CRF 250R. Right back there is one of the only two people who've ever won a race in Philadelphia. It's Brock Glover, who won one of the doubleheader races back in 1980. The only other time they raced here-ish. The vet was basically in this area, but that stadium is long gone. Beautiful stadiums now with Lincoln Financial Field, and then where the Phillies play is right across the street, and where the Sixers play NBA. I think there's a hockey team, but who cares about hockey, also playing in the arena over there. Really cool little section of town. They've come up with some cool bars and hangout entertainment areas. I say rough and tumble streets. I actually used to hang out in Philadelphia quite a bit. I went to college just on the other side of the river in New Jersey, so I used to come here when I was a youngin'. Anyway, it's great to be back, but really it's not back. Look, this is a new venue. This is a new market for Supercross. I know that the old historians are going to want to point out that there once was a race here. No one on earth is going to say, I'm not going to go to the Supercross of Philadelphia. I already went there 45 years ago. I saw it already. And plus, that race was cruddy. I've seen pictures of it. They couldn't use the football field because they raced in August, and Philadelphia Eagles training camp was just about to begin. So it was all grass, and they just rode around the circumference of that. Probably not the best track. So let's focus on the here and now and what's better about today's racing. We actually had bikes on the track for press day. It's been forever since they actually got to ride on Friday. It's been forever since we've had a race that wasn't marred by inclement weather. Either rain already happened or rain coming in. Perfect weather today, perfect weather in the forecast tomorrow. It is a day race, by the way. Watch at 3 o'clock. Tell your friends. NBC will be showing this race at still watch on Peacock or the SMX video pass internationally if you want. But a nice little showcase for Supercross under what should be sunny skies. Everyone's curious about the dirt. I found out they had Monster Jam here a few weeks ago, so most people think the dirt is going to be rock hard underneath. I actually saw them tilling it up a bit today, which you do not normally see in a Supercross, and they watered a lot of sections a lot. So I think they're trying to get moisture and trying to soften it up. But I think it might end up being hard packed. But it's kind of anyone's guess and how it's going to turn out, which is kind of neat. One of the riders I wanted to talk to today when I went to the paddock was Tom Vialle, because I think the narrative on Vialle is, with these very competitive 250 championships this year, Vialle has a leg up, right? He has championship experience. He is, of course, a two-time MX2 world champion. I'm going to slow down here because this street cleaner is going to get ahead of me. And it's loud. Vialle does have experience as an MX2 world champ. And the second one that he won was a winner-take-all showdown between he and Jago Geerts. That's pressure, right? So that means that compared to anyone else who's battling for these titles, even the West guys, RJ Hampshire still looking for his first, Levi Kitchen still looking for his first, and his primary competitors, Vialle's, McAdoo, and Deegan, for example, all haven't won professional titles. And one of the titles he won was a nail biter, but he told me that it doesn't really work that way. He feels like every year and every championship is different. Plus, this is Supercross, it's not Motocross. You learn a lot about yourself when you're in those pressure situations, but he can't really lean on any of that or take for granted that he pulled it off in clutch once, that he's going to do it the next time. What I am impressed with Vialle, when he won Daytona, that was his first Supercross win. He celebrated, yeah, he did the burnout, he high-fived and all that, but he didn't seem overjoyed. And at the time I said, man, that's crazy, you know, for a European racer who did not race Supercross growing up. Some French riders have a Supercross background, Tom does not. For him to get a Supercross win, I thought was a big check mark. He didn't really act that way at Daytona. And I talked to my media cohort, Ricky Carmichael, and he said, you have to understand the mentality when you're at this level. You're trying to win championships. No one race win really feels anything more than just like, hey, that's what you're paid to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You spend the whole season trying to avoid the bad race that can ruin your championship. That's the real pressure point. The wins are just supposed to come. That's what you're paid to do. And Vialle, yeah, he said he wasn't overly pumped. It was cool. What's up?
You gotta stop working.
I know. Yeah, I shot one earlier. It wasn't good, so I got to do it again.
You gotta stop working.
He will someday be the guy that I'm saying you got to stop working. He will be that guy. I say that too.
Your grind is pretty strong.
He always gives me props for that. He does.
We have a problem, like an epidemic in this industry. We all do way too much.
Yeah, if
anything, the riders are the laziest, maybe.
Yeah, but this is perfect. Okay.
Yeah, but it's strategic.
I'm gonna put this right in a perfect transition right here. What I was talking about was that when Tom Vial won Daytona, he wasn't like overly pumped, and it's like, yeah, on to the next. It's 7 days. I got to do it again. I can't really. It never really stops. You never really exhale. You never really say it's done.
And when he gets to the end of his career, he's going to say, my one regret
is that I didn't
enjoy it more.
100%.
It's a double-edged sword because you really can't let yourself enjoy it that much.
Because it would affect your performance.
You kind of have to internalize it literally, because otherwise it's too up and down.
Yeah, and would it affect your performance if you don't stay a little bit desperate of like, I haven't done it yet, I haven't done it yet, I haven't.
It depends on your personality type.
Yeah,
but mostly yes. Yeah.
You have to.
But mostly you're correct.
You have to be desperate all the time.
Pretty much. You have to be in a mindset of always trying to improve.
That sucks.
Offensive.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I shot a video earlier and I have to redo it.
I see you.
See ya. That's Adam Cianciarulo and Nick Way, everybody. Do you see how this writes itself sometimes? That's the point. Vial wins Daytona. He can't fist pump. He's got to say, I got to get better. And what he told me was, he knew those conditions, Daytona is the most motocross-like supercross. That wasn't really an accomplishment. Winning the next time out, he won 2 in a row. That was good, but it still wasn't enough. And I think that's what these guys deal with every time. You win, you want to celebrate. That's the goal, especially for him to win a supercross race is awesome. No, still needs more. And that mentality is what has gotten Tom Vial here. Because if you look at both 250 coasts, east and west, he has been by far the least high and low, right? It's just been right across the middle. He got third at Foxborough, wasn't too happy with the bike, what they told me. I talked to his mechanic. Most of the tracks have been super soft and ruddy this year, as you know. They had the bike kind of set up for that. Foxborough ended up actually being pretty hard pack, and they did some changes before Nashville to compensate for that. They think the bike will be a lot better, and again, they think this will be harder packed, so it's going to work better here. But he was mad after the third at Foxborough, but it didn't derail his season. I think that's really been the key for Vial to get here. And just something to note, guy should have been fist pumping when he won Daytona. Didn't, because the goal is this: 2 races to go, being in title contention. And that's really the story in the 450 division. What's the Lawrence Brothers program here? This is the Lawrence VIP program. Weege Show over here. What's happening?
We're just hanging out. You want some free food?
Is there free food?
Weege, you hungry? Yeah.
100%. What? Is he part of the program? Seth Hammaker.
This is Garrett. Where'd he go?
This is a party.
Garrett, this is
my last hurrah. After this,
What? Really?
yeah.
This is your last race?
It's my last race.
Why's that?
If I'm being honest, I'm training my dad's retirement.
Is that really what it is?
If I'm being 100% honest with you, I'm training my dad's retirement, and I don't get paid enough to sustain myself, so...
Okay, you want to go? Dad pays good, Fel doesn't. Yeah, we're rolling it. Okay, you want more purse money so you don't have to pay.
Yes.
There we go.
That'll be awesome. So,
Yes.
it's not that we want more purse money, it's that we need more purse money so we can actually get to the next race and continue racing.
Yes.
Should be able to sustain a guy who makes the night show, or even just the night show top 40 should be able to go from race to race and race
On that pay.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
The Lawrences have been nice enough so we can rent out their fan fest. We catered a lot of food for all my buddies and everyone who's been there for me this past year or two and celebrate.
So this is a celebration dinner right here.
That it is.
Wow. But you will race tomorrow, Garrett.
I will race tomorrow.
Okay.
You're invited. Go get some food.
All right, I'm in on it. And dude, you're getting better and better. What is it? Troll training, or what can we credit? This is Bryton Carroll, by the way. What can we credit this to? I feel like you've stepped up the game.
Yeah, this year the program has been Troll Train
and
Club MX, man. It's a combination between the two.
Okay.
Being able to ride with dudes like Cody Schock and Garrett Marchbanks and Jay Mark, the 2-time.
Phil or no? Does Phil count?
Oh yeah, Phil.
Phil helps?
I might have actually held him up in practice the other week, and he was not happy. He let me have it.
Yeah, I would imagine. That's the Phil experience.
Phil even said at one time, I was a legend back in New York City.
No, you were though. Your dad was.
When I first came to
The
the
American
club,
flag jersey.
That meant a lot to me.
American
when
flag
I first
jersey.
came to the club, he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, your pop was a legend." I always remember watching him growing up, riding with the American flag. He's like, "Yeah, man."
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm Jersey, man. I'm Jersey. But all I did was flag. I would flag the top of the elevator/staircase. American flag jersey for Brian Carroll is big. It's time to get food? All right, we're gonna pause this show. It's time to get food. Well, I've been welcomed over to dinner by none other than Jett Lawrence himself. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Yep.
No problem.
Yep. I mean, I really love what you do for the media, especially. We have free food. It goes a long way.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to my mate Garrett on a great career.
I know, we're having a retirement dinner.
Yes.
Yes. You want to know something sad? I met his mom at Loretta's when we carried a plant around, and she poured not water into our plant and killed our plant. Yes, and she said he was on a P-dub back then, and now he's retiring. So how old am I? How old am I?
Old mate.
Jet mascot. Super old. Well, thanks for having us. I don't know who you are.
No problem, mate.
He's really good with the accent.
It's the first and last time I'll be able to kiss him with the lips.
Oh,
And
what?
he'll be real.
What? Is this happening? Oh my gosh. Wow. Happy retirement. Wow, well that certainly got out of hand. If the footage works out, we've got the mascot being kissed by one of the moms. Anyway, Garrett Hoffman, that'll be his final race. Breaking news here in the Weege Show. We got it from the Lawrence compound. So, if I can remember back, we were talking about the championship scenario, Tom Vial being the most level of all the 250 riders this year. And he said, look, there is no pressure. I'm just happy to be in this position. And that's what I was getting to with the 450 title fight between Cooper Webb and Jett Lawrence. Now, any one of these guys would love to have a 100-point lead with 3 races to go and already have the title wrapped up. But that's not a realistic expectation. If you lie detector test any of these top 450 riders and said, you're within 5 points of the lead with 3 to go, would you take that? They'd all sign up for it. The one thing that's interesting to note, though, about Webb, he's super respectful to Jett Lawrence. There was that brief time where Webb left Alden Baker. I think this was the off season going into the 2022 season. He was riding with the Lawrence brothers at their compound, working with Michael Byrne at the time. Burner's still there. Now he works with Chance Hymas. That brief time, that maybe, I don't know what it was, maybe 5-6 months, an off season and into the beginning of the 2022 season, they got to know each other really well. And I think normally the Cooper Webb thing is that he's a salty guy and he plays the mind games and all this. And there's definitely been heated Cooper Webb rivalries. This has not been pitched that way at all. Cooper, super respectful for how good Jett is. Jett, honestly, isn't really a bad blood guy with anybody. He's super respectful to all the guys. So it's going to be a little different. I think we're all expecting to see the Cooper Webb crazy mind games. I don't know if he's going to do that with Jett. I don't think he wants to. I think the two guys just like each other too much, and they're just going to let the racetrack tell the story. Speaking of telling stories, there's a couple interviews today from press day. Dylan Ferrandis back, and Seth Hammaker, the local native, also back. It's a local race, don't want to miss it. Here's some riders from press day today. Oh, this is real? Dylan Ferrandis, you're alive. We found you. How long has it been? It's been more than a month, I think, right?
Yeah, 5-6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah. Now it said lung infection. Was that all?
I have a bunch of stuff. I had a regular flu, lung infection, and then just a virus, maybe same as the flu. I'm not sure exactly what kind of virus, but then I was just like miserable, like super low energy, staying on the couch all day and couldn't really do nothing. So that's why I didn't race.
Wow.
I was just like very, very sick.
Wow. So how long did you not even ride?
That's the problem. I tried to ride every week.
Okay.
So actually since Glendale, I fall sick after Glendale.
Yeah.
And just try to ride and try to keep training, and that's what was the problem, I think. So
I see.
I probably took like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Felt like 3 weeks maybe, I'm not sure, but every week I was trying to ride and just push the problem down.
Because here's the problem, this is new team to have this effort, and as soon as you go MIA, people are like, is there something wrong? You were good the whole time. You were always coming back, the team was good, because I think that's what starts to happen as soon as you're gone for 3 weeks, say.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it was just weird. Also, when I crashed in Daytona, I hurt a little bit my knee, so I was like, maybe that's what bothering me, but no, it was just like...
Yeah, it was never the team.
No,
you wanted to ride Supercross.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, never been that case.
Yeah.
No.
Where were you when you left? And then do you think you're back there, or are you going to need a little time to get fitness back and all that stuff?
I mean, I feel good when I ride in practice, but obviously I've been out of racing, so all these guys have the rhythm from every week. So I think that's the difference. But on the bike, I feel honestly better because my last couple of ride, training and race, I've been riding 6. So it was just like I was just no energy, no strength in the body. So no, I'm better. But yeah, for sure I miss the racing rhythm.
Last thing, have you ridden outdoor stuff yet? Have you started to go that direction?
Yeah. So of course, when I restart riding, I restart in motocross just to make sure like to don't take too much risk in Supercross.
Yeah.
And then the team wanted to do like at least 1 week of testing for outdoors.
Okay.
I think I could have raced maybe last weekend, but they wanted to focus a little bit on outdoors.
Okay.
And that's what we did, and here I am.
So you're going to be excited about that. You got a month, but that's the direction. It should be good.
I mean, just this 1 week of testing is not really enough, but yeah, I mean, outdoors is what I like also.
Local guy.
Yeah.
How local is it though?
Pretty low. I mean, an hour drive.
That's in motocross terms. That's legit.
Yeah, especially Supercross.
Growing up, did you think of Philadelphia as like the city? Like if somebody said where you were from, does Philadelphia in your mind? Like it's that close?
Like I would say Harrisburg at first, but like Philadelphia is like the I don't know. I mean Harrisburg is pretty big too, but like not
the local
like
news was the local news on your TV. Philadelphia or Harrisburg?
Harrisburg. Yeah.
Oh, it's big enough to have its own. Oh, okay, all right.
So,
so we need a Harrisburg race then to really ramp her,
I mean,
really ramp her up.
Go, but yeah, this is about as close as we can get.
What is your? I know you've been asked this probably 900 times. What is your condition here? Because you missed last week.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think better than I expected it to be. So I had a good week this week, and last week it just wasn't strong enough really. Pain-wise, it was kind of one thing, but didn't want to go out there and risk getting more injuring something else. So just decided to take that one off, and really didn't want to miss this one either.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So are you good to go, or you're like, I'm gonna ride no matter what because it's Philadelphia?
No, we're good to go.
You're good.
Yeah, if it was any race, I'd be racing. Not just
I see. Yes. Okay. You're not forcing it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got extra people here?
Oh yeah.
You do.
A lot of people, and a lot of them that have never been to a Supercross. A lot of family and friends.
So
it's cool. Yeah, because we were talking like. The first Supercross that I've ever watched was in like 2017 at MetLife, and that was like the only Supercross I've ever been to before I raced one, which is kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy because you were already pretty legit by then.
Yeah, I was on 250. I was like, probably 2 years into like my 250 amateur like
Team Green.
Yeah, I think I was A class at that point. So
yeah, you had Loretta's titles. Had never gone to one.
No. And I was like, all right, let's check it out. So.
Yeah, this isn't like you were 6 years old.
Yeah, and you know what made us go to it was because at Monster Cup and Super Minis, remember when someone had my number and I had to tape my number off?
Yes.
So they felt bad and they were like, we'll give you tickets to you and your family to any Supercross. And we were like, all right, we're going to MetLife this year.
What?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because
so that's
of
what
the
made
numbers?
Us go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. These are stories you only get here, everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't you win?
I won the first moto, then crashed out the second moto, but it was still an awesome memory.
Okay, so we got to look. 2017 Monster Cup?
That was 2016.
2016 Monster Cup.
My last race on the Super Mini.
So we have to look, and you got janky numbers.
Yep. Dude, like, I was number 51, and Jace Kessler was 51 too, and they were like, we got to pick one of them. So they picked me, and I was like, okay, cool. And we just taped off the 1, so the 5 was just over here, just off
with nothing, and just black tape.
Yeah, and we did the same thing to my jersey. The 5 was just off center. Everyone's like, "What's going on?"
Oh my gosh! Paid off, dude. Got tickets.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Great story. Last week, the early laps of the main event, Eli Tomac riding unbelievably well, and honestly, Webb rode well. That's the only time in the race that he had the speed that Jett did. He held him for maybe 2 laps, 3 laps right behind him, and Ken Roczen. Always great early in the race, but exceptionally great through that sand section early last week was unbelievable. The point I'm getting at here is I feel like, this is just a theory I'm working on, these riders have realized, okay, Jett's really fast. He's really good if he gets out front. Those are the races that he's been clean and has won without much problem. So we've got to sprint. We've got to sprint. We've got to find early race sprint speed, sprint speed, sprint speed, sprint speed. Say it 5 times fast. I just did. And I think that's great, but these are tough races. You can't just go all out at the beginning and not expect there to be a reaction at the end. And I think Jett's just like, if you guys want to go that fast, that's fine. As long as I'm close enough, I'll fight you later. And maybe you'll be a little less fresh and it'll be easier for me to get around then. Now, Roczen obviously made it easy by going out with a blown shock. So Jett didn't even have to pass him. But I think Jett now sees, okay, this is how we do this. I know Eli's really good for a little while, but I don't know if he can do it for the entire race because look, Eli kept the pressure on legit for a while. Second race, in St. Louis. Eli kept the pressure on legit for a while, midway through the main event at Foxborough. So I think if you're Eli Tomac, you're encouraged by this. You're like, okay, I've ridden enough with this kid to know it's not like he's just blowing my doors off. It's not just that his top speed, he's going a second and a half faster a lap and there's nothing I can do. I think he sat back there at times and said, this pace is doable, but he's got to be able to do it for the entire race. Now we've seen multiple races where he stays with them for 5 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever, matches them, and then by the end, there's a massive gap. That's what happened at all 3 of these races that I'm talking about. I think that's encouraging for Eli. Look, he didn't have the full off season. I don't know if the fitness is fully there. Maybe riding that pace at times, maybe he gets tight or arm pump or whatever. I think he's working on all these things. It's just my theory. But he is encouraged that it's not like the pace is impossible for me to get there. I've just got to be able to sustain it longer. Now, Jett's only going to get better. It's only his first year in Supercross. But I think if you're Eli, you've been like, the last couple of weeks, what I learned, the kid is good. I knew that. Would have loved to have this been easier. But this is doable. This locked?
This way is. The exit is that way.
Okay, we'll head back down. Thank you, man. So, my theory here is if you're Eli, you're like, this is doable. I can still win races. I can still beat this dude. I can still be the best guy. Just give me time to work on it. I'm learning when I ride against him. That's what intrigues me. Is there another level that he can get to? Whether he gets there or not isn't really the point. The point is he encouraged enough to keep trying? As in keep racing, race more this year, race maybe even next year. I think there's enough evidence now for Eli to say, I want to come back and race, because the finding a second and a half a lap, that's the hardest part about racing. That's virtually impossible, but that's not what he's searching for. He's just got to be able to do this thing that he's been doing longer. And that's something you can work on and control. So I'm encouraged. They've seen what Jett has. I think they almost go too fast too early now because they know they have to match the sprint speed. And last week I think Jett just waited them out. And here we are again. The sweet street sweeper that I talked about at the beginning of the show. That's going to do it for the Weege Show. Anyway, thanks to Honda and the CRF 450R and 250R. Beautiful bikes over there at the Lawrence Brothers compound. It's a good dinner, huh, Air Dog? Got to have dinner with the Kennard brothers, Trey and Aaron, who's actually one of our cameramen. Hey, which camera, when people want to watch the show tomorrow, you'll be podium interviews, or what will you be?
For heat races, I will be step and repeat.
Okay, so the heat race,
and then I will be with Will for the rest of the night.
Okay, so when you folks watch the heat race interviews tomorrow night, it'll be Aaron Kennard holding the camera, and when Will has a report the rest of the night, it'll be Aaron Kennard holding the camera. That's Trey's brother. So I hung out with them at the free food at the Lawrence Brothers compound. That's what I'm going to be looking at. The riders are all trying really hard at the beginning of the race to not let Jett go away. But how long can they do that? Because I think for him, he's just riding. It's not all out, everything I've got. My arms are pumped up. I'm making huge mistakes. I'm getting tired. They're kind of running while he was jogging. Can that paradigm change? Can they get better? I think if you're Eli Tomac, you're encouraged. You're going to tell yourself you can run with the kid. And I think that's all anybody wants, right? Keep him in the game. Let's have some more battles. Maybe tomorrow night. Thanks to Honda for backing our show, and the beautiful Lawrence Brothers compound for a free dinner. We'll see you tomorrow.